Yeah, that fucking turns me on.
You will worship Cardi B. What you look at, what you reflect, you become, motherfucker.
Peace, love, Christ is king.
It happened all through history. It's fucking true.
Of course, I have been looking into this.
So understand, under the sphere of what your knowledge goes through, that's the height of your knowledge. If you're under that, you understand it. If you're not under that, you don't understand it. So that's the thing. That's how I discover reality. Everything is manifested in and making you egoistical and gluttony and wrath of the fucking demons. Then they'll kill your soul and they'll hypnotize you. So next time you listen to a fucking song, think about it, motherfucker!
Boom, boom. Welcome to Troy's Oracle, Christopher.
Do you even know what an oracle is?
An oracle is an all-knowing thing, isn't it? And don't they put it on top of the mountains?
Yeah,
or something
I just told you that. Yeah, an oracle is incredible. But I found out, I've tried to find secrets about everything, but it's just
What is the biggest secret you know?
parasites in food.
Parasites.
Yeah. There's literally worms, parasites, and they control your mind and how you think.
Can you come with an example?
There's a cat parasite where the rat runs over on the parasite goes into the brain of the mouse, and it makes the mouse think, I want to get eaten by a cat, because that's what a mouse wants, isn't it? And then the cat eats it, and the cat goes to the owner, and the owner gets infected by a parasite, a worm living within their brain. And 30% of people have this parasite. And this parasite, if you have it, you have an increased chance for BDSM activity. BDSM is where you tie a person up, and you restrict them and regulate them, and you control them with power. You tie power to sexuality, you got the devil. So this is just difficult to understand, but everything in the world is tied up. There's the spiritual and there's the non-spiritual. That's how reality works. So you got a demon, that's a spiritual word for something. And you got, for example, the heart. You got the heart, that's the physical. And then you got the symbolic, the spiritual. Okay, the spiritual meaning of the heart is love. And the meaning of the heart is it pumps blood out. It pumps out emotions, because your blood is where the chemicals are. They get pumped out. That's why you feel it in your heart. You love with your heart. There was an old man, a young girl that died. She got killed in the forest. And her heart transplant got taken over to another person, a young woman or something. And that young woman, she had dreams of being chased in the forest and killed, because the neurological network of the heart was now put into another person's body. So there's literally neurological networks of memory inside your organs. So back to the parasites will control you. We have millions of parasites. So the stupid scientists, I call them stupid because they know, science are incredible at explaining everything except one thing, and that is the mind and the human experience. That's why we still have anthropology, theology, philosophy, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, the parasites, we have millions of them. And in every continent, we have cleanses year-round. In Asia, they have clans. Africa, they have clans. South America, it's obligatory to once a year, people come in and they cleanse for parasites. You can eat different herbs and it cleanses the parasites out. But in the US, they don't do it. And in the West, they don't do it. Because here we have medicines instead. Who earns money on the medicines? The big companies. So the thing is, science, you'll only go to a doctor if you're feeling sick or you feel digestion issues. And even then, they don't suggest it's parasites. They give you a drug they earn money on. But 80% of those parasites, they just live there. And we think they do nothing. And I guess a good proportion of them, the only one they researched on mental effect was the cat parasite. And they saw you literally live sexual immorality. That's a demon.
I also saw that they went into places where there was a lot of startups, like startup companies.
Yeah.
And they took the percent of people at the startup companies who had the cat parasite.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, I don't know, what 80% or something had the cat parasite in the startup companies.
Yeah.
And it's because you become more risk willing. And also people who drive motorbikes, the chances of you having the cat parasite when you die of a motorbike is like 15 times higher than if you don't.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's just the parasite we know of.
Yes, and this is
So
just, look,
definitely, yeah.
the only parasites they research in the stupid scientists is the parasite that give you symptoms that are physical, not mental. They don't know a change in behavior, they call it psychosis. Could that be a parasite? That's very interesting, and nobody's gonna research it. We don't know anything about the mind. It's obvious. Okay, so if we knew something in psychology, why is anxiety and depression higher than when we didn't know about it? That's a weird thing. Anxiety and depression higher than ever in the West. What do we have in the West? Psychology and everything. But psychologists, even people that study the physiology and androgenetic networks of the body, they understand, hey, we don't understand shit. We don't understand anything at all. So the reality is, God is the truth. You look at the Bible and you'll see it's a fucking biology book and it's a spiritual book. In the Bible, there's truths about biology that we found out for like 2 years ago. So it's just absolutely insane. Christ lived for 33 years, the 33 vertebrae in your brain. So, but if you want to go now and don't want to listen more, truth advices, don't jerk off and follow Christ. Christ is king.
We often mix the spiritual and symbiotic world with the physical world, because like I was thinking about the conspiracy theory about the rich people and the powerful people. They are reptiles,
Yeah.
and of course they are probably not reptiles. They are not living reptiles,
Yeah.
but they live with only the reptilian brain.
Yeah.
They only think about power, money, and sex.
Yeah.
And those things are the most fundamental parts of our brain that is called the reptilian brain.
Yeah.
So they're not reptilians, but they are reptilians.
Yeah.
In both ways, it's still true, even though it's not physically true. It's still the whole mental and spiritual truth is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything's like manifested both places, but whatever, what is within is without. Isn't that what the fucking stupid young magician girls are doing? You know, have you seen on TikTok young girls? They do magic and they call themselves baby witches on Reddit, and of course I have been looking into this. And these fucking witches, they do blood magic. They have no idea what they're doing. They are basically saying, hey, devil, give me a little bit, or take a little bit of my soul, just a little bit, and then, you know, give me that guy I like in my class. And the devil's like, I would actually love to do that with you, my little girl. No problem. That's incredible. What a good idea. Come, I'll give you him. And she gets him. He's like, whoa, I should do some more. And then she reddits and writes to other women about stuff. And women are incredible at love and forgiveness and these things. But it needs boundaries. So you can just look at femininity and masculinity and the yin and yang. The masculine is the order. That's why we call it, we pray to the Father in heaven. It's the order. But the feminine is the creator. Women create life.
And in yin yang, what is the black and the white?
So the yang is the black and the yin is the white. And the yang is the black is the masculine and the white is the feminine. And
no, it's
it's opposite. I was just thinking about it. It is opposite. But the reality of the yin and yang is that that's feminine and masculine. And that's, you know, in everybody's psyche. And you see women that become lesbian or hate men or they like BDSM activity. They have a bad masculine. The masculine side of the psyche is all fucked up.
So
that's why I was a girl I was talking to in Kenya and Africa. And she wanted to tie me up, you know, in the Middle Ages they had those things, hodoink. And I saw it on Instagram and I didn't jerk. I hadn't come for like 1 month there. And I was like, that fucking turns me on. I sent it to her and I was like, I'll put you in this thing. And then she was like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And I was like, yeah, that fucking turns me on. And then the bitch says, oh, but you should go in it also sometimes. You should go in there also. And I was like, what? You saying what? If you didn't clean up or something, I think you should also go in there. And this woman, what she was doing in our conversation, she was building up my ego to destroy it because that was her sexuality and her one drive in life. And the way she thought made me so angry. Anger is a sin, don't get angry. Forgive. Because if you forgive, you're literally invisible. What it's called, you can't die if you forgive. Because if Nicholas here ruins my whole life and I forgive him, he doesn't touch me. He ruins my outer life, but not inner. And that's another thing. I'm not trying to jump too much here. But there's the outer life and the inner life. The inner life, you can have nothing in life but be happy. Because you have the kingdom is in you. You're fine. You're peaceful within. Everybody knows that. A vagabond walking on the street, he has nothing. He has a bag of things. He has maybe a screw and some bread and water, and he's happy. But you can have people that have everything but are not happy. So what is most important? What is within? In today's society, and this is the mistake you guys are making, is, and you also probably, is that science is all about the outer. Okay, so back to that girl. She wanted to fucking lock my dick up in a chastity cage, peck me in the ass, and all kinds of stupid, disgusting things. And I was like, bitch, you're not gonna do that to me. I will kill you. But that's the thing. I got afraid of my dark side because women that, you know, want to destroy, that I've met some of, you know, so I've met some women that are beautiful and nice. The girl I'm talking to now, Mary, she's such a nice, beautiful, Christian, perfect girl. Absolutely. She
has the name as well, Mary.
Yes. And she's a 33 in numerology. That is the number of Christ. So, and I talk to her, and Mary, if you're listening, I'm sorry about putting you on the spot. But I talk to her sometimes, and like she gets kind of afraid if I say something. Today I talked to her, and I asked her to say the word motherfucker, because Kenyan girls, they say motherfucker. And it's so funny, the Kenyan girl I met in India, which is the first black girl I ever met, when I was in India, and she was all crazy, and we were driving some Bora through India, insanity. And the Bora would be like, get the fuck out, black girl, because Indian men are racist. India is a racist country. And I would then go into the Bora and the guy would be like, sorry, sir, I didn't mean to say that to your girl. And I'll be like, okay. But she would say, motherfucker, what are you doing, motherfucker? I'll take another one, motherfucker. Motherfucker, I have a muzungu, you know? She would talk like that. And that would be a lot of fun. But what was I talking about?
The black woman who wanted to tie you up.
Yeah, so that was my dark side. Like, I've met some good women and some bad women. And some of the bad women I met, I had fantasies about, you know, because in Kenya you can do anything. Really. So I had not fantasies, but I had thoughts of revenge. And as you know, I had for Nicholas for some years ago, I had a dark period where I thought everything was power. I thought moral behavior was just a vector, what is that called? A tool for increasing your value. Like that guy, Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power. He's a fucking psychopath. I read comments on his YouTube like, don't do this, it will ruin your fucking life. Hør efter. Mm-hmm. It will ruin your fucking life. And it did, because you start thinking everything's power. He even says in the book, even your family members, it's all power. So let me explain it. Where power dominates, there's no love. Where love dominates, there's no power. Power is evil, but power is also good. Power is influence. So power and love is the same substance, but it's different because one is of the mind, one is of the heart. One will give you a heavy heart and a calculative, secret mind. The other one will give you a trusting and non-secretive, non-machiavellianistic mind, but a light heart. A heart light as a feather. You want to be heavy or light? What do you think makes you ascend to heaven?
Light.
A light heart, of course. Or else you'll be stuck in the fourth dimension. You want me to explain the fourth dimension?
Yeah, in a bit, but I was just thinking, okay, so...
Motherfucker.
who is most happy, like the one who goes after power and love, and you cannot love and want power?
Yeah, if your mind is dominated by power, you'll attract people like that.
But I've been more and more convinced now that I used to cheat to get money.
Yeah.
Just small cheating, like 100 kroner here, 200 kroner there. My friends who gives a fuck kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I would never get caught, and if I got caught, I could still rescue it. It's not a problem.
But your life path number in numerology is 8.
Yeah. But
so you love money.
Yeah, but
so that will be your temptation in life is money.
Yeah, it's one of my temptations, definitely. But logically, why not just cheat your friend for 100 kroner if you're 100% sure, or even a stranger, if you're 100% sure you do not get caught?
Yeah.
Why not? I ask you.
Well, that's because of God, that becomes the question of God. You know, is there somebody else that sees what you do or not? And the discussion of God, you know, if people listen and they're atheists, they should really think again. You were completely atheist. You're very rational, hyper intelligent, starting to be a doctor type of person, you know? And you kind of figured out that there is God for some in logical ways. But even in psychology, Jung, he saw the psyche as the anima animus and the shadow and blah, blah, blah. And there was something called the self. Okay, and the self was this weird thing that will give you dreams when you ask for it and it seems to think for itself. And also, just like my phone right here is connected to your phone and all the people listening. But wait, it's not connected. I can't see any wires. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The same with our brains. We have a biofield. Okay? If you masturbate and jerk off to porn and do drugs, and if you're dark and do the 48 laws of power, your biofield, your frequencies will be completely done. If you saw it through like a scientific lens, you'll have your frequencies will just go above your skin and fall down. But if you, as you haven't jerked off for 2 months, everybody on Reddit, everybody reads about NoFap.
I jerked off the day after our podcast, so it must be 2 days ago.
Yeah, okay, but
it's still, I was horny 2 seconds after again.
Yes,
so I have it built up.
The thing is, if it's basically a charger, like, and if you plug it out, you plugged it out once, but your computer's filled up with batteries. So, but the thing is, then your frequency will be high. If you eat healthy and so on, you'll have a high frequency. You know what the Egyptians call frequency? They call it the breath of God. And they would do something that we gotta start doing. They breathe in the frequencies, literally. So they would say,
who does that?
The Egyptians.
Egyptians, okay.
Breathe it to the nostrils. There's paintings of it. And it would go into the lamella, the parts of the lungs, these small ones, and they kind of have water in them, don't they?
Alveolar.
Alveolar. What is it called in English?
Alveols.
Alveols or something. And they are filled with water, correct?
There's water in them.
Yes. Yeah. And the water is the first element in the 4 elements of alchemy. And the water, if you put frequency in water, you'll see shapes.
You'll see shapes, and it's so interesting.
We are 70% water.
We're 70% water, but it's so interesting. If you have water and you put frequencies in them, you will see the shapes you see when you take DMT or psychedelic. And I still never found out. One day I was just looking, and I was seeing these shapes. I saw a video of where they put sand or water, and then they make it vibrate in different frequencies, and then you will see different shapes. And it's 1-to-1 the same shapes you see if you trip on mushrooms, high dose, LSD, high dose, or DMT.
Yeah, breath of God. Do you think like that's, gods have different frequencies? God has a frequency. So every like archetype have a frequency.
The cleanest frequency.
They measured emotions as frequencies, and joy, peace, and love, that's the highest frequencies. Love is the highest. No, peace is the highest. Love is under, and joy is under. And the lowest are shame. Today they do slut shaming. Today everybody knows the listening. They're trying to in-programming. They try to destroy you so your frequency will be low. You'll be watching porn. They'll tell girls, you'll feel no shame if you fuck 9 black men. And the girls will do it, and they'll feel shame, but they'll try to convince themselves they don't. And then their frequency will low. Their pineal gland won't be activated, and they'll be fucked in life, and they won't be able to ever get God. So they close them down. But the thing is, I work in... I don't want to talk about that. Doesn't matter. But keep going. What were you saying? The breadth of frequency.
Yeah, you said the Egyptians, they hit like a ding, dong.
Yeah.
And then they just... And they try to sniff in the frequencies.
Yes. They will. And look, I know it sounds stupid, but every single ritual... people find out, for example, the Himba tribe in northern Namibia. I love the Himba tribe, by the way. I fucking love them. I read books about them, everything. But they take this stone, a red stone, and they pour it on their skin. And the scientists, of course, did, some research, and they found out it works like better than sunscreen. It has all kinds of protective elements in the body when it gets absorbed. It's healthy for the physiology. It balances the microbiome, all kinds of stuff. It's so healthy. And that's because, how do they know that without science? Because truth is given by the gods. Today I was seeing a program of people surviving in the wilderness, and they were like, this is people that did it their whole life. A 30-year-old guy, he just reading about the Stone Age every day. And he was like, we don't know how to do it. Because in the old days, they would speak to the gods.
the people in Greenland, what are they called? The people that live in igloos, you know those people. They would have a shaman. Every tribe would have that. They'll have a shaman. The shaman will dive into the world of the gods, dress up as a woman, being the feminine, dive into the world of the gods, and the god will tell them, you don't fish here, fish like this in this place, and then they would survive. So all through history, we did things we can't do now. I don't think we can survive in nature. We can use technology for it. We have merged with technology and science, but lost the gods. And therefore we have lost the inner world, which is the world of happiness, and we are in end times. God damn it.
Okay, I was just thinking about something, I forgot.
The fucking frequency. So we should start listening to 432 frequency every day.
432.
I heard a guy, he listened to one of the frequencies, it changed his back pain. He had back pain, it changed him.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about 432 actually. It's the length of the pyramid is 432. No, that's not correct. The pyramid is some length, and if you divide it, if you times it by 432,
yes,
you get, or I think 432,000, you get the length of the moon. And then if you take the other pyramid, or the other side of it, and times it by 432, you get the length of the sun. And it's like 1-to-1 precisely. It doesn't make totally sense because the pyramid is of shape. I can't remember it, but just search on the internet the 432 and pyramids. Then
so
you can
the pyramids are like a mathematical genius thing.
It's genius. And
but what is also implemented, and it's not just mathematical. Today we have buildings, they make sense functionally. It's symbolic. It's not just perfectly outwardly, it's perfectly within. 432 is the frequency of God. It's the frequency of harmony. You listen to it, you feel peaceful. So they are not just merging. We are merging completely alone with technology, and we're gonna die from it. They were merging with the gods and with their technology, which was obviously advanced, and probably the pyramids are probably 12,000 years old, you know?
Yeah, and also when you're building a structure like the pyramids, it's you start from the bottom, and if you just do it 1 centimeter wrong in the bottom, when you go all the way to the top, you have 2.5 meters of difference that is wrong.
Yeah, it gets exponentially increased.
So the smallest mistake at the bottom destroys the top, because they all need to hit the top exactly. And like people discuss even today if we could build it with our technology. Like they say, yeah, we probably can, but it's definitely no easy task.
Yeah.
And then how could they do it back then? Like it's crazy.
But I was telling you and the family, I wrote in our family chat today, like this society will fall, and it is falling, and your rights will be taken away from you, and in the time to 2030, you'll be fucked. You can't even travel out of the country. And I'm saying these things, and I have always predicted the future. And you wrote something, so my grandmother is also in the chat, and she wrote, Connie, she wrote like, what is this? And you explained
Christopher wrote like,
the world is going
to go down, it's going to go under by 2030. Be careful, everyone, or something.
Move
and
out.
My grandmother, who doesn't know anything, is like, what are you saying?
But it's weird, it's such a weird thing, because first you feel like, oh, people will know when it happens, they will know I was right, and then I'm like, wait, what? I'm celebrating that I was right about the death of my family and my whole country. That's crazy. That's like first step. And then your next step is, how do I fucking get out of this? What should I do? So one thing I asked God about today when I was praying, I was like, God, should I just stay in this country and just pray and be good and spread light and save my soul? Because Jesus said, the one that loses this life to me, but gains, the one that loses the one that loses life will gain everything. The one that loses life the one that gains his life will lose everything, and the one that loses his life to me will gain everything. That's what Jesus said. So, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't even, because my plans are I'm gonna move into Africa, and in Kenya, Eastern Africa is the best economy, and I can stay there for some time. Then I can move into Congo. And you can move further away from the West, because the more evolved, the more technology there is in a country. Every phone is the snaky finger of the serpent of the devil. So, and some fucking villages in eastern Kenya have phones. So the devil's fingers go all the way into some innocent black Christian kid. And that's why they're starting to accept homosexuality. But that we shouldn't speak about on YouTube. Homosexuality is great. The rainbow has 6 colors.
We love rainbows.
Yes, but the rainbow in the gay flag has 6 colors, okay? The rainbow in the Bible has 7 colors. Symbols and words never lie. 666. I don't even know.
The devil's number.
Yeah, but it's not even a joke. Like, that's true. We talked about numerology. You know, every number has a frequency, and they are telling you through it, you know?
So the rainbow flag has 6 colors, but the rainbow we know of has 7
Yeah,
colors.
so God...
And 7 is the God's number.
Yes.
And 6 is the devil's number.
Yes.
So it's the devil's. But how come...
6 is not the devil's number, but in the Bible, in that perspective, it is. If you're 6 in your numerology life path number, that means that you're not a devil at all. There's no such thing as that. But we are caught in things, okay? There's like 2 realities. This is getting complicated. So we are like, in one reality, that's our biofield that goes like this. And it looks like an apple that's taking a bite from. And this reality is the reality of 12. Okay? So, for example, there's 12 zodiac signs. There's 12 months in a year. Okay? There's 12 everything. We live in the reality of 12. And when you transcend and lose your life to Jesus Christ, as Christ said, and just fuck it, I don't care if I'm homeless, but I'm gonna forgive, peace, love, Christ is king. Just follow the commandments, no matter if I lose money or whatever. Give everything away. You will rise within, and it will flip to 14. And you go into the reality of 14, and then everything will be perfect. But that's just like, right now people think I'm crazy. But you know the story, The Wizard of Oz, when the girl came back and she told everybody, I went here and I saw a Scarecrow and a Tin Man and I met this guy, the Wizard of Oz, and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, you are crazy. That's the same they're saying to me. I'm crazy.
It's funny why, if a person who goes in like the Wizards of Oz and sees all those things are crazy, why would we want to watch it for 1.5 hours? Why has that film been watched 3 billion times, maybe 10 billion times? Film been watched by people and
people watch it in black and white.
We are not interested in anything. This laying here, I'm not interested in it. It has no meaning for me. But a film like that, you get caught in it. You are like, whoa, there must be something interesting. Your interest is not by mistake. Like, you're getting caught because there's something in it.
Yeah.
There must be something in it. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to see it. You don't want to look into a wall.
Yeah.
And there's good and bad movies. So that also means there's a hierarchy of how good a movie is.
She says that song over... Now, what is it? Over the Rainbow?
That's the song Over the Rainbow. I don't know what the rhythm is.
Something above the rainbow, but that's basically...
But that's the fat guy singing.
Yeah, but that's the song is from The Wizard of Oz.
It is.
It's something I can play now. It's like...
Otherwise, that's this
follow
the yellow brick road.
So I'll just explain the psychology of the movie fast. So the girl, she has this incredible power. That's the shoe she gets from the witch of the west. That's a good witch, and there's the evil witch from the east, and the
Ukrainians.
Yeah, but east and west are like parts of our psyche or something. Jung talked about that. But look, so you have incredible power. That's what it's talking about. You have incredible power, but the witch is like, ha ha ha, you don't know your power. Therefore, I will take it away from you because you don't know it. You don't know the kingdom you can have within yourself. And then they go and she meets the lion. The lion is courage. You know, the lion doesn't have any courage. And that's a part of her psyche. The lion is of the heart. She needs to find courage and not fear. What is the opposite of fear? It's faith. Faith in God. The Tin Man, he doesn't have a heart, so that's like transcending the heart or something. And then there's the Scarecrow, which is a... what was the Scarecrow?
Afraid of everything.
Yeah, afraid of everything. So they're all like different problems she has to overcome to get to the kingdom. And then she gets to the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz, I think, is an analogy to where we are. We are basically like the Wizard of Oz, you know, having a big brain, knowing everything, but having nothing. That's the fucking science. So, but this, I don't understand. This story is like a biblical story. You can have an IQ of 200 and analyze it for 2 years and you won't even get the truth of it. But you could also just feel it, because all knowledge is in our blood. All your ancestral knowledge is in your blood. Every time you start suffering in the cold or you don't have food, things get triggered in your body. And that's only the physiology we know about. We know nothing about the mental, as I explained earlier. So things also happen in your mind. Spirits come to you. So if you pray, fold your hands together like this and ask for help, you will get help. I asked God to, I don't like talking about what I asked God, but I asked God, and I was scared when I said this, really scared. I said, I was doing some bad stuff and I told God, scare me, God. I want to feel and know and especially feel exactly what I'm actually doing. And I was scared when I said that, because saying to God, scare me, I was like, I'm going to have the scariest dream ever or something. And nothing happened. And then 3 days later, I felt the worst despair I've had in my life. And despair, so the individuation process of Jung, you are like this and you become your full self. And when you don't become your full self and you actually die, that's losing your soul to the devil. Like, I felt like I wasn't me. It was the worst feeling. I've suffered in so many ways, like many ways. But that feeling was the worst I've ever felt. And since then, I've been good for like 5 days. But not good. I'm not doing bad stuff. But I was manipulating reality and dabbling with, you know, when you bite from the apple, you're biting from the, you know, like when you read about alchemy and reality and magic and all these things, you get tempted to do some of them to shift reality in your way. So, yeah, whatever. But I'm not doing that anymore.
Once you said dibble dabble, it reminds me of that guy. What is it
Dibble
called?
dabble in the lean, high text with the scene, soda as I whip the Yola, Lambo wet, Coca-Cola, my boats, custom noda, riding in the speedboat, she sucking, licking deep choke, Rey Mysterio, when I'm riding off the top joke, Lamborghini red, Lambo high, Lambo in the, that's the Lamborghini high song. I used to like it when I was 16 until, you know, but Plato said, Plato's like, freedom, free all slaves. But music, so bad that we should make it illegal. That's music. And the devil is a lie, so when Cardi B shakes her ass and tells you wealth is the best thing, sex will give you everything you want in life, don't you want to fuck this ass? You know, and other stuff like that, it's a lie. You'll have all the sex you want in the world, and let me say this, you'll have all the sex in the world, you'll be tricked. You won't be happy. You'll have all the wealth in the world, you won't be.
Just back to the
It's a lie. The devil is the lie. Just understand that. If you like the devil, if you're a Satan worshipper, or if you're like, fuck F God, I want to do what I want to, fine. But you're following a lie. A lie is something that looks good, but behind it, it's a trick and it's not good. So you're following something that you think is good. You're like, oh, God, I'm going to do this because I want to. But God is like, my sweetheart, it's a lie and it will make you sad and then. But I don't care if I get sad. Continue.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm doing too much wine. I keep forgetting what I was about to say. But in the film, I was thinking, like, when we watch a movie, and I ask you, why is that relevant? Why are you grasped by that?
Yeah.
You cannot answer. I will ask you, why do you think why is Harry Potter going down under the castle to kill the snake, to rescue the virgin? And that's even one of the more simple ones. And you will not be able to answer. No, a normal person would not be able to answer. So but you must still understand it. Otherwise, why would you want to watch it? If you cannot understand, like watching something in a different language, you cannot understand it. But then you must be able to understand it. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to watch it.
Yeah, I think
so. There must be
that's where
two parts.
That's where things get so dark, man. Because the stories of the Bible and the stories of folklore and the stories like that, they give an inner moral compass, I think. So when you like, oh, is this wrong and right? And you feel your stomach and it feels wrong. You know, the Holy Spirit comes to you, whatever. It feels wrong, even if you're atheist. Then you don't do it. That moral compass is laid by the stories you were told as a child.
So if you're told stories like, for example, the Snow, what is it called? The one that our two little sisters listen to?
Snow White.
No, not that's a good story. It's called something Frozen or
Frozen. Yeah.
There's indoctrination in that. So they make a very good story, but they just very, very trickily and extremely intelligently manipulate the symbolic elements where the feminine becomes the hero. I'm not gonna say in woman and man. The feminine becomes the hero, and the masculine becomes not really existent. And what you want is a mind. What a story reflects is your mind. So if you have a mind where your masculine is not order, and the masculine is chaos, you have the opposite of reality, and you'll create polarity instead of wholeness. Wholeness is the individuation of life. So through telling stories like these new Disney movies where a woman is a hero and stuff, women are incredible at what women do and the way of the feminine. No man can be as good a woman as a woman can be. No woman can be as good as a man can be. That's why changing genders doesn't work ever. You don't. So my point is just they fuck up the moral compass, which is incorporated into your gut. They see rats, they give them different guts, they feel different anxieties. So the people, when they give children stories in a young age, or musicians in a young age, but stories in a young age, they fuck up your moral compass, so you don't know what is right and wrong.
That's why children also can watch the same movie again and again and again. But I was just thinking, what did you just say?
They fuck up the moral compass,
Yeah.
but also in music they fucking manipulate.
They manipulate us. Yeah.
In music,
Keep going.
so in music they will like, I see what is Taylor Swift. I saw her videos when I was young and horny, then I would like, oh, she's hot. I remember her having glasses on, being this innocent schoolgirl singing with a guitar, Sunset, and there's some boy she was in love with. And now she's basically putting out songs, good girls go to hell, witchcraft. She does rituals, live rituals. It's very religious when there's a concert. John Peterson talks about that. I think he mentioned that, but that doesn't matter. I'm just saying, they start with they want to get the children, because the children is the next generation. They think long term. So they make children, they give them artists that are beautiful, sing about love and so on, like Taylor Swift and Eilish B or whatever her name is, and and then they turn it dark. Eilish B, now what is her name? It's this woman, Eilish. You know what I'm talking about?
Alicia, no, not I know Alicia.
Yeah, we don't know it because we're not in that indoctrination. But if you are listening and you're like, you don't know what their name is, that means you're indoctrinated, motherfucker. Let's go back to Kenya. Frida would tell you, motherfucker, stop listening to that shit. That's what she would say. I love black women and Africa, and I love them. They're Christian and they're beautiful. Even the bad people, I like them. So you listen to music, it will indoctrinate you, because I can tell you the hypnosis of music, but who fucking cares? People just want to listen to music and watch porn. You can do it, but when you really get into the end times and you start suffering and your family's not allowed to do what you're allowed to do, you're eating bugs every day and you're caught, you have no freedom anymore. You live in the novel of 1864 by George Orwell. Then you'll be like, I should have listened to that guy on the podcast. Oh my God. I don't want to talk more. I don't care. People can fuck off. I don't care if they know.
But is your plan, you said earlier that you had been thinking about going to Kenya and leaving, or being a light here?
Yeah, so
what is your conclusion?
I don't like cowards. But so that's a thing. What do you think? Should we fight let's say we were in Ukraine. Should we fight for a country? So part of it is, our friends are fighting for something. We should obviously stand shoulder to shoulder with our friends and brothers to fight against the enemy. But who is the enemy? Other Russian kids my age, interested in the same things that I am, shooting for who? People in power like Putin and so on. And these people don't give a fuck. Your number on a sheet. Oh, 1 less died, 1,000 less died. That's your whole family there. So wars have always been throughout history. There's something tribal in wars. And it's fine if you're actually protecting your children and your family and your women. Fine, I'll fucking take a sword and fight. I will. If there's children, if I'm protecting, let's say somebody I'm married to, some nice black queer girl, and my children, I will die for them, obviously.
No question. I would never go away. And any man that do that should be hanged. He should not have children. Those genes, we don't want them. But most men, 99% of men will stand up. You see people here, men in Denmark that seem so weak. They'll stand up and they'll fucking go to war and they'll get tortured. They won't speak a name. That they will do that for their family. And that is the highest form of love. That is why Christ is king. Because the highest form of love is Jesus Christ. Self-sacrifice. And that's why self-sacrifice makes you so strong. If I tell you your kids will die, or the person you love will die, if you don't walk to Africa and back, you'll gotta go out the door and start walking bare feet. You'll come back 2 months later, no problem. But if I told you do it and you're an egoistical psychopath, you'll be like, fuck no. You wouldn't be able to do it. Because you wouldn't have. Love gives power. So back to the war.
Yeah, love gives power.
It's so strong. And forgiveness, if you have love and forgiveness, you're basically a god. You're like Christ. Because if anybody scams you and fucks you up, if somebody scams a person that's not with Christ, that person will be angry for a year. Maybe for the rest of their life, they'll walk around in anger. I got scammed. Fuck that person. I need revenge. My life is so unlucky. But if you forgive, gone. Continue. And tragedy will happen in life. You want it to go deep. You want the sword somebody sticks in you to go all the way in your body, or do you want it to hit your skin and be bouncing off you like it hit iron? That's the reality of forgiveness. People don't know the power of Christ. That's why, you hold the Christ thing when a ghost or witch comes, the witch will scream, ah! Because the witch is an egoist. They have no power. Love is power. Power, love. So back to the fucking thing, war. Should we fight in the Ukrainian war?
Well, if I was in Ukraine, would I go to war? Depends on the chances. Like, it could also be an experience. I'd like to shoot a gun, but maybe that's a bit stupid.
No, but that makes sense. I was working with a guy. He just had this inert feeling he wanted to go to war his whole life. It makes sense, in the tribal times, you need men to protect the tribe from lions and so on. But that's my plan B. If it doesn't work in Kenya, so on, I'll learn Ochi Herero, which is the language of the Himba tribe in northern Namibia. And I'll go there. First, I'll go there, obviously, and I'll be living there. Maybe doing a sales job while I live in Opere. I can't remember. Upovo is the town of the Himba people. And I would slowly integrate into the community. And I would live with them in the bush, nowhere, with their gods in Gai.
How would you not get sunburned?
Well, that's where magic becomes interesting, because there's magic one can use. Word is matter, so if you can bypass the critical factor in the brain, then you can change your physiology. You can grow in height, you can change eye color, you can change skin color. I'm not joking.
Can you change your sex?
Yes, but there's a thing, yes, you can in theory, yeah, but you will have to have like high level of black magic for that. But that doesn't matter what it would be. I would be able to, by not doing much magic, being able to many spells. It would be quite simply make my skin browner and able to take sun and make me able to go long times without water. I can also practice that in Denmark and make my body used to it. It's possible. Very possible. Yeah. So, but
think about having little children just running around playing, and you're living with your little community, and
yeah. But the thing is, the reason why when we are in nature, we feel it's beautiful. What is beauty? Beauty is of God. Beauty is perfect harmony. If you look at a lake, every single thing if you measure it with fucking science and mathematics, everything is by 0.00001% perfect. Everything is in perfect harmony and symbiotic relationship with each other. So that's beauty. So beauty is God, and the devil is so ugly. He's so ugly and he's so weak. The girl that wanted to lock my penis up and put me, make me a slave and BDSM me, she always said, "Oh, God never used me as a vessel, Christopher. He never answered me my prayers. The devil, he's so powerful." Do you see what she's doing? She's Nikolai Tesla. If you want to understand Nikolai Tesla, if you want to understand the reality, you think in vibration and energy and frequency. and she was giving the words and vibrations to the devil. And as we talked about earlier, maybe everything is geometrical structures of frequency. That is maybe the gods in the scientific way. So she was basically giving the devil power in her reality, and the devil was laughing, ha 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 ha.
Well, every cell in our body is made of atoms, and all the atoms, they vibrate.
Yeah.
And they have electrons running around, and they also vibrate.
Yeah.
So we are built by things that are vibrating.
Yeah, in waves.
And how much? And when?
Hey niggas, we're vibing. Vibe stands for vibration.
Yeah. It's in the words.
Yes. That's why reality is in words. If you say the word understand, a stand is a specific place. Okay, understand. If you have your understanding, you're under the stand, then you understand something. If it's above your stand, you don't understand. I don't understand. So understand, under the sphere of what your knowledge goes through, that's the height of your knowledge. If you're under that, you understand it. If you're not under that, you don't understand it. So that's the thing. That's how I discover reality. Everything is manifested in words and symbols, and the truth is there. You look at the Apple computer, Adam and Eve. God gave us the powers. God gave us the Garden of Eden. God gave us paradise, and Eve said, "It's not enough." And the serpent talked to her in the ear, and she bite from the apple, and she made Adam also bite from it. And now, on the forefront of technology, where all the videos, the music that Plato talked about, the frequencies that are bad, and the incredible amount of indoctrination programming, and the thing that makes people lonely, where people get closer at connecting but longer apart, they're sitting in rooms talking instead of sitting in the same room, all that comes from computers and phones. And who's the forefront of that? Apple. And Apple, Christopher, just like the Garden of Eden. But the Apple on the MacBook computer and on the Apple phone is an apple with a bite taken out of. Wait, that just seems very coincidental. That seems just like the story of Adam and Eve. Didn't Eve, Christopher, take a bite of the apple? Yes, my darling, she did. And that is the technology that is running the forefront of our death. The death of the human species, the end times. And we are in end times because every religion, in Christianity it was said, the churches will turn against Christ. The churches will start manipulating people and turning them away. The churches now have the rainbow, which is beautiful, but they only have 6 colors in it. And there's some things called same-sex, which is beautiful. We love same-sex, don't we? We love it. It's incredible. It's good for society. A child doesn't need a father. We know the statistics on children without a father is the worst ever. Their life becomes terrible, or children without a mother. So why not give them 2 mothers so they don't have a father, or 2 fathers so they don't have a mother? Because the masculine and feminine will really work together with 2 men, wouldn't it? It's difficult enough for a woman being feminine in the good way and individuating in that way. It's a difficult life path. Only few go through the narrow path gateway to heaven. So having a man try to walk through the woman's way that very few women enter through, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's not gonna happen. So the reality is, a man and man will come together, and that's the only way for divine marriage. And you'll ascend as a good feeling. What's up? You'll go up in your gut and you go to heaven. That won't happen. Who's laughing when you fuck up everything? The devil. So we are in end times. It was predicted. Christ will come. He'll get you if you're righteous. God bless. But get the fuck away from the West. It's crazy
how much there is in the symbols. Because like the rainbow, beautiful from the outside. And then you look into it and it has 6 colors. So there is something wrong with this rainbow.
Let's not say anything wrong about these people because they're very powerful. They'll close down.
No,
the
but
podcast.
think it's like a sheep in the devil in the wolf, a wolf in the sheep's clothing. And that's exactly what the LGBTQ
That's such a good
is.
analogy, because you see the rainbow, you think it's beautiful, but they just made a little touch, one less color.
Everything is in the symbols. I'm a logical person who thinks what is like. I want to figure it out. And when I was younger, I was like, what the fuck, God? Who the fuck is that? There's no one in the sky. He will fall if someone is in the sky, he will fall because of gravity. Like that was my thought, but the more I learn, and the words, the symbols, and whatever is between my 2 hands here, there's something probably between it. we have no idea. We have no idea. And I love it. I love life. I love how
So
we have no idea.
there are 7 churches in the book of Revelation, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 bowls, and also I know there's 7 continents. 7 is an angel number, and you know the number 6 in the Bible if I Google that.
Ronaldo is 7. And I think the number, I don't know much about football, but I think Manchester
number 6
United's best player is always 7.
The number 6 and its meaning in the Bible are related to man and human weakness, the evils of the devil and the manifest of sin. The rainbow of the LGBTQ that we love is 6 colors.
Okay, but is it 6 colors?
Yes, it is. But now they have added flags, but what originally was 6 colors.
We find out now.
Symbols never lie. That's how they do hypnosis, by the way. If you're watching, you get... The way they do hypnosis is you have a filter. So everything that goes into your unconscious mind, your unconscious accepts as true. But you have a filter, so if I tell you you're a fucking pig, then you'll be like, no, Christopher. The pig information goes into your mind, you filter it away, and it doesn't go in there. If it went in there enough, you'd become a fucking pig, or you believe you're a pig. But to distract your conscious factor, to bypass the critical factor in hypnosis, you put a Cardi B twerking ass, and the male sexuality will be there, and you'll look at the ass, and you're like, oh, but in the background, that's where they put the symbols, and they're going straight into your unconscious, and what is in the unconscious manifests in reality, so you'll be behaving as they instruct you to. And if they connect it to emotion, the emotional element in the 4 elements of alchemy, in emotion and to fire and water, they connect it to emotions and sexuality, as they do in pornography and as they do in music videos. When you're in the best part of the music song and you're singing with Cardi B, yeah, pew, that's where they put the idea. They plant the seed and it will grow and you'll become a devil.
I have to ask you about the black and white, but just in a sec, I just searched on the internet about the rainbow colors, and the LGBTQ flag has 6 rainbow colors. And then I searched on a rainbow, just rainbow on Google, and it has 7 colors, the 2 ones I looked at.
Symbols and words never lie.
It's crazy. It cannot be anything else.
Why is the word understand? If you look at words,
it must be.
Words, if you like a word out there, some word you like, take it and Google the word and etymology. And then the word will come up and you'll see, oh, it makes sense. For example, God means dog. In the Wizard of Oz, she always had a dog with her. The opposite of the word God, G-O-D, is D-O-G, God. So dog, the God was always with her. I looked up the etymology of the dog's name in the Wizard of Oz. The dog's names were Toto. That's Latin for total. Wholeness.
That's like the totems.
Yes, wholeness is everything in all of Carl Jung's work. He was like, it's all, if I had to summarize it all, it's all about bringing wholeness to the psyche. When the feminine and masculine comes together, you get wholeness. That is God. Wholeness. Polarity, that's where they tell you. Black versus white, gay versus straight, Christian versus this. All these things, that is polarity. But wholeness, the divine marriage between a man and a woman, that's wholeness. So God is wholeness. So the dog, spelled backwards, means God is God, and God was following her all through. The dog was always there, and she didn't notice it. So if you're going through something difficult, God is always there. He's sitting right beside you. Just say, I need help, God, and He will help you. I promise you. It's true. It's true. It's fucking true. It happens in my life. It happened all through history. It's fucking true.
But also, like, everybody throughout history, we're talking about, I think, maybe 8 billion people all believed in God. In all different cultures that were not close at all. Like, I heard about stories about people, they believed in I think it was some little place in Africa, some little culture.
Small tribes.
A tribe. They prayed to the big man, they called him. And they prayed, like, why is they praying to the big man and we are praying to the big father? And in Asia, they're praying to some other father or God.
Yes.
Like, like the chances of, because the IQ hasn't fallen the last 50,000 years, we have the same IQ. So we're not become stupid. Maybe we have more technology, but everybody knows you cannot measure the spiritual and the evolution of the spiritual life with technology. So we have become smarter in the optical world.
Yeah, optical world, yes.
But we have not become smarter in the spiritual.
It's perfect.
So how do we know more than the 8 billion people living in maybe 60,000 different tribes? And they are much more spiritual connected
Yeah,
than we are.
yes.
How can they not have something at least to say?
That's so true. That is so true, and it makes perfect sense. What you're saying, it really does, and that is the truth. But it is said, wisdom comes from within. Wisdom and knowledge is not the same. Intelligence, I would say, is negatively correlated with wisdom. Wisdom is in the blood, so the only people that become atheists, they start. Everybody, I worked in a kindergarten for like 2 weeks or something, and everybody, all the children, they believed in God. But when you get older, you start using your mind only, and not your heart and your soul and anything, and you become hyper rational. And then you don't. So it's a process. It's difficult to be an atheist. It takes time. It takes indoctrination. They have worked hard to indoctrinate themselves.
It's also difficult to meet God's requirements.
Yeah, if you're grown up in a society where if I say Jesus Christ in Danish, I burst out laughing. If I say the Father's Prayer, Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. If I say that in Danish, vor Herre bevare, then I start laughing, which is indoctrination. If I can't say Jesus Christ, let me just say you, if you think he's stupid, he's the most famous man that ever existed throughout human history. That's insanity. Most famous man that ever existed throughout human history. That's number one.
And 2,000 years ago, still I think 4 billion Christians in the world. It's the most, 2.5 or something.
Yes.
Still follow him in his words.
Absolutely.
Come on, how
And the
arrogant
Muslims
are you?
also follow him. If you speak and people don't even listen. Your mother doesn't even listen. He spoke and people 2,000 years later are giving up everything in their life to his fucking word, and you think he's a stupid man. Maybe you should think again. That's well said, isn't it?
I agree. Can you... it's to something different. You were talking about... when we were talking about how music can
Sofa is nice, yes.
And then I was watching an ad, and you were also talking about base consciousness and black and white.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the base consciousness is and how they can manipulate you with it and why they use it in videos? And then I also saw a ad of Just Eat, and it was some black girl singing, shaking her ass or something, and she was standing on top of white and black.
White and black tailed squares.
Squares. Yeah. And 2 weeks before that, you said they manipulate you. Watch all the, at least 60%, 70, 80% of all like very modern music videos or ads where they have girls shaking their ass and saying, "Follow me." And I searched for the transcript of the audio of the YouTube ad.
Yeah.
And it was like, you come and eat good burgers. You will come and eat good burgers or something. And it was said so fast, and it was in a song, and she was shaking your ass that you didn't even notice what she was saying. But that definitely comes in. You can elaborate.
And it's they always manipulate. The reason you know they're on the dark side is because what is one of the 7 deadly sins is gluttony, so people eat themselves to death. But this is the Freemasons, and the Freemasons, they are the atheists and scientists at the bottom. They are stupid beyond belief. Then you have the people that realize that everything's connected, just like Nikola Tesla, the guy that revolutionized he knew that vibration and these things were everything. So the Freemasons, they realized, okay, there is a symbolic reality, there is a reality in words, everything is in frequency. How can I manipulate this for the gain of my ego and not the gain of my soul? That's what they do. They harm others, and they do rituals like that. So the Freemasonry, they have like a picture that symbolizes them. The symbol of the Freemasons is 2 rulers going down in a triangle and a big G in the middle. The G is the letter of genius. It's the 7th letter in the alphabet is G. G is the letter of, and is also the letter of God. and the ruler is showing architecture. So they have like this painting. In the bottom of the painting, there's black and white squares, and as you go up the painting, you go up towards the light. So just look at it like this. If you're seeing through your eyes, if you want to see reality as it is, imagine you saw everything as black and white. You wouldn't be able to outlook at niggas' t-shirts up there and I'd be like, okay, they're only black and white, but in reality, there's all kinds of different colors of t-shirts. Do you see the difference? That's a wise person sees all the colors of life, the full spectrum, the full rainbow colors of life. That's the way to God, the rainbow.
Yeah, in mythology, you walk the rainbow to get to
colors. If you see it in black and white, you are stupid. You are at what they call base consciousness.
Again, in the word, you see everything black and white.
Yes,
it's not a positive thing to say to someone.
Yes, absolutely. And so if you see things
black and white,
yes,
that's not a positive thing to say to someone.
Yes, absolutely. And so if you see things in black and white, so in the Freemason painting, the bottom of it, the lowest part, hell, is black and white. Either or, evil, good, beauty, ugly. Everything is like that.
Black, white, gay, straight,
absolutely.
Cis, not cis.
Yeah. Yes.
Gay, not gay.
Yes.
Communist. Oh, what did they say?
Yeah, against me or for me, blue and red. Yeah.
The top 1%, the bottom has 90%.
Yes, and they. So that's when you come into what is it called, duality. So this is really deep, but I'm just gonna say this fast before I go to the Freemasonry. They use duality. They want you in a state of duality. Duality means you're split. So when you fall in love with a person, you have such a great feeling because you're creating wholeness in your psyche. She's bringing light to the feminine, unconscious part of your psyche, and you're bringing light to the masculine of hers. And together you're merging perfectly in a unit. As says in the Bible, a man and woman come together and become one flesh. That's what happens. But the Freemasons, they want to keep you in base consciousness. No, so in a Cardi B music video I was watching, there was all these things, the serpent, the devil, but it was all in duality. There was these two women, and they were perfectly mimicking each other, and turning around, just like the ballerina, turning around, dancing forever, because that is duality. You're constantly in black and white. You can never ascend because you can never think, and you can never. It's very difficult to explain, but when you're in duality, you can never transcend. You can never go up. And every time you have a good feeling in your stomach, something good happens, the feeling goes up. Next time you feel a good feeling, feel it. It's like when you smile upwards. When you're depressed, it goes downwards. It's a heavy stomach. People like in Denmark, we say, han hænger med næbet, which means he's going down with his mouth. So if you're like this, you're depressed. Down to hell. So reality is in the word.
And I saw a study of people, and they could see when they walked how high they was lifting their neck, and then they could measure that to how, I don't know how they measured their popularity and their status, their social status.
Yes.
But they see the higher social status, the more you lifted up your chin and looked up, and the lower status you were, the more you looked down.
Yes.
Like down is hell, God is up. Everything makes sense.
No, but look. This is it's all within people, but they're trying to destroy. So going back again to the story of the Wizard of Oz, the power is within us. That's what the devil doesn't want people, you listening and you to know. You are so fucking powerful. You have no idea. You literally, it says in the Bible, the demon in front of you is never greater than the God inside of you. The kingdom will come. The wave and frequency of peace and love is so high. The wave of the demons is shame. When you take it in science, it's like nothing. You take an ocean with massive waves against the ocean with small, weak waves. The ocean gets crushed. Okay? So people are powerful. People are great. And the light is always stronger than the dark. The truth is just, you gotta practically fix what you eat. Cleanse your parasites in your body. So your frequency will go up.
You're talking about the black and white.
Yes, so to ascend, the black and white squares is base consciousness. It's low level of consciousness. You see everything in either or, ugly, beauty, blah, blah, blah. You see everything, it's split, not the full spectrum. But if you rise up in consciousness, you rise and you suddenly see more and more colors. And in the end, you see the full colors of the rainbow. You see like God. So the Freemasons, they figured out, oh, let's manipulate this. Freemasons control the world, I think. So you see Shaq, he does Freemasonry symbols before his games. Like, he's literally doing symbols of the ancient 7 Kabbalahs, something like that. That's old ancient magic. And the Jews, the Old Testament lays the fundament for all religions. So so they are just telling you base consciousness. So the black and white fucking squares is base consciousness. Your unconscious minds understand symbols. That's why all the stories in the Bible and folklore is told in symbolic kind of stories. So let me say it. So when they put black and white squares, they're telling you unconsciously, stay in low consciousness, stay in low frequency, stay in either or, because then you won't be able to think, and then it's either eat my burger or be hungry, either get my propaganda or not. The easiest people to trick is the people that believe in black and white. If I want to manipulate you, I would tell you, okay, we have 2 options, Nicholas. We can either go and do this now and go to the lake now, or we can go to the lake later. Which one do you want to choose? You have to be fast. I don't have more patience. And you'll say, the lake later then. Did you see? We went to the lake no matter what. They manipulated you. So that's in black and white, you can manipulate a person. But if a person has the full spectrum of colors, they'll be like, wait, do I even have to go to the lake? That's the difference.
And I was also thinking, when you have to hypnotize someone, for example, the classical hypnotized way is you have a little watch and you do like this, and you go by, the watch will swing.
The critical factor is looking,
and you're looking at the eye, and you keep looking, and
distracting the filter.
You're distracting the filter. Your conscious is on the eye, and then you can talk into something else.
You know what is crazy when it comes to music?
And it works. I've tried it before. And
yes.
You can get hypnotized.
Absolutely.
It's totally real.
And that's also what magicians do, but that's coming back to what Plato said, with music being so powerful it should be illegal. There's an old Greek mythology story where the critical factor that you just talked about, our conscious mind filtering away things. There was a story where there was the 7 dogs at the gate, or something like that. So these dogs are at the gate. That's the gate to your unconscious mind. That's your conscious filter. And the one person that came and went through the gate without being stopped by the dogs, he played a nice soothing symphony. He played music. This is a Greek story.
It's the same story in Harry Potter.
It is.
The big 3-headed dog.
Yes.
On top of the.
Do they play music?
The only way to get the dog. The dog destroys everything and kills you.
This is insane.
Whatever you want to, but the only way to go through it is to play nice little music, and they put a harp that plays by itself, like and then the dog sleeps and they can go down.
And this is fucking insanity. I have to tell this. So if you're listening, you're listening to music, and they are manipulating you. If they wanted to put you in, they wanted to trick you. If you told somebody, fucking trick me, make me believe something else, they would give you fucking music. They would give you music and porn. What are you consuming? Music and porn. Who's don't worship other idols than me? God said. Who are you worshipping? Other idols. If you don't worship God, you will worship Cardi B. What you look at, what you reflect, you become, motherfucker. You are being fucking indoctrinated. No, seriously. They are being killed and you don't understand. Oh, Christopher, it's just music. What's wrong with it? I looked at it, Justin Bieber music with some stuff. It had flashing images. That's called subliminal images. That's illegal in advertisement. It's advertisement. So what is illegal in advertisement in the 60s? Illegal because it made everybody fucking buy Coca-Cola, subliminal messages. They use it fucking music, and they program you, and they use Freemasonry, and they keep you stayed at a low base consciousness because they're afraid of you, motherfucker. They are afraid of how powerful you are. That's the truth. Just like the Wicked Witch from the East in the Wizard of Oz, she was fucking afraid of her because she didn't know her power. You don't know your power. You don't know your power. God is power. Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done, motherfucker. This is the text. It's 2,000 years old. This is the truth. The fucking power is in people. That's where the power is. But if they keep you atheist and in outside of reality and not really understanding your own power and love and peace and so on, and making you egoistical and gluttony and wrath of the fucking demons, then they'll kill your soul and they'll hypnotize you. So next time you listen to a fucking song, think about it, motherfucker! Fuck, I don't care. They're being fucking stupid. How are people listening? How are people just sitting like this? Oh, indoctrinate me. When every mythology talks about the only way to trick your conscious mind into your unconscious mind is play a little song so the dogs at the guardian of the gate, the critical factor, the conscious filter goes to sleep, motherfucker. And don't get me started on porn. That will turn you homosexual also. It will fuck up your feminine and masculine also. There's many things. I can go into that. Should I go into that? It makes me upset because I care. I'm not cold. It's not like I don't care about humanity. Everybody has a soul. Everybody was once a child. That's a good way to look at things if you want to be peaceful and forgiving. Nicholas, if he fucks me up, I'll just imagine him as a little cute child eating a donut. And he was so happy and had such a big smile. And then you'd feel love. And then you'd be like, I forgive this man. But that drives me crazy that people are being tricked. No, but they don't know. That's the thing. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. That's what Christ said.
Just before he died.
Yes.
Yeah, on the cross he said, what did he say? You said, say it again.
Father, forgive me, for Father, forgive them, for they do not know. He didn't talk about himself. Father, forgive them, because they do not know what they just stabbed him. They just killed him. His disciple betrayed him. They whipped him with a 9-inch tail. So his flesh, they made fun of him. They put a crown on his head, told him, you're the king of the Jews, and made fun of him and shamed him. Shame is the lowest vibration. They try to put these vibrations of shame, of pain, of giving up, of throwing out his faith to God. You believe you're God, you believe God is your father. Look here, you're being completely destroyed. And he kept forgiving, because that's the shield that protects him. He was protected by love. Harry Potter, the story you all love. The greatest curse was cast upon him. Avada Kedavra. Kills everybody. But didn't touch Harry Potter because he was shielded by love.
His mother.
Motherly love.
He didn't die was because
yes, and motherly love is self-sacrifice. The cross is self-sacrifice. There's all kinds of images here. So if you want to be the most powerful and untouchable being with God literally inside of you, give up your life to Christ. And even if you're Muslim, understand that Muslim, there was 3 evolutions of religion. There was the base, that's the Old Testament, that's Judaism. The Jews are still trying to riddle, like, where's my Messiah? And the world is going down and the Messiah didn't come. Doesn't make sense. They're completely gone. Everybody agrees. The Jews, there's no question. The Muslims, they have 2 things. They have Allah and they have, God, and they follow different things. But how can God create a reality that is evil and sinful? Humans are in a fallen state. Muslims have to agree, every human sins. Where is your savior? How can God create you with sin? You're created with all kinds of fallen nature and bad things, but I don't give you a savior? Doesn't make sense.
You cannot go to heaven if you're Muslim. You cannot become 100% pure.
Absolutely.
You have to become Jesus Christ to go to heaven, and that's what they all are afraid of. Like, I have quite a few Muslim friends, and they try, but at least they try. But they say God is forgiven. If God forgives, they make that so they have a bit of it.
Yeah.
And the modern Muslims, they say God forgives, but as far as I know, God does not forgive so much as they say. Maybe, I don't know.
It's also, when you have to understand these things, religion is not a science. The Muslims use very logical arguments to describe the thoughts of God and the soul. Have you ever had a dream? Is your dream logical? No. So God bless the Muslims, but it's not logical. You have to think in love and so on. So what is the highest form of love? Self-sacrifice. What did our God in flesh do? He sacrificed himself for everybody. That's the highest form of love. So our God is more loving than your God. Christ is king. That's the way to go. But you're still doing much better, the Muslims, than all the atheists combined.
But the argument against it could be that the Christians, they don't believe anymore, but the Muslims still do.
But the Trinity, look, the Trinity is Father, Son, Mother. The Trinity.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yes, it is. But I'm saying it's gas, liquid, and solid form. Trinity you see everywhere. It is the reality that we see the world through. The 33 is the Mason number. 33 is the number of God. So the Trinity, if you look into ancient, not alchemy, esoteric practices, 3 is the number of God in many senses. Look up. It's the truth. Christ is the truth, and
I always thought about when we do like this: the Father up here,
yeah,
then the Son
yes,
down here,
yeah,
and the Holy Spirit connects the Father and the Son.
yeah.
But I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, but the Holy Spirit works through us all the time. There's different, churches believe different things. But you have to, don't be very religious. I think if you have to choose something, you will choose the Orthodoxy because they keep the church. They keep the practices as well as they can. So the Orthodoxy is probably the best way to go. But one thing is you have to come to God as a child. That's why I critique of Orthodoxy. And look, the Orthodox priests, they are a million times better than me. Their soul is going to heaven. I don't know if mine is. It is because Christ forgives. But when I look at some of the Orthodox priests, I don't see them bursting out in laughter. I see a seriousness to them, a focus. And you need, I believe, the heart of a child to come to God. God said, come to me as a child. You need to be able to laugh and let loose and play like a child. It's just, being with God is like, people think, oh, I have to keep these rules. No, it's just like you have a father in real life when you're a child. So you be like a child and everything's up to your father. When you remember when you were a child, you didn't really have responsibilities and so on. It's not like that, but you kind of have to see it like that, because as a child, you're just playing. You're not worried about the things because your father and mother, they figure out the big things of life. They make sure you go to bed, do I think, blah, 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 blah. So you should have to see God as your father, have complete faith in him, do the things you do in life. You go to work, you do whatever you like to do, whatever. But you have faith in God, and he's your father, and he knows better than you, and you keep his commandments because you love him. That's one thing the churches that are fallen, which was predicted, the churches will go against Christ. They say, oh, we should love everybody because Jesus says to love. Yes, that's true. Jesus also said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And Jesus Christ was very, 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 very clear on what he thought of, for example, same-sex activities or sexual immorality. But it's not, I don't condemn homosexuality. I just say, like, if you're angry, it's wrong because it hurts you and others. If you're homosexual, it's wrong because it hurts you. You can never have a child, family. Amphetamine abuse, the highest group of amphetamine abuse is homosexual men. And homosexual men, the percentage of homosexual men that have a long distance loving relationship over 5 years is under like 2%. So there's basically 98% of them just have sex and no love. So if there's no love, if there's no eternal marriage, if there's no feminine and masculine coming together, if there's amphetamine abuse and everything demonic, then it's not good for themselves and it's not good for others and society.
Yeah, I was just thinking, why should a king do good? The king is on the top of the pinnacle, isn't he?
Yeah.
Why can he not just decide what to do?
I don't know.
Well, because there's someone over the king.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without God, why should the king do good?
Mm.
I cannot answer it without saying there's something beyond the king.
Mm.
Think about, you have a society and he's on the top of the top. Why can he not just do what he wants? We say he does what he wants, he will suffer.
Mm.
He's not suffering because someone is making him suffer because he fucked them over. He's the king.
Yeah.
He owns everything.
There's so many crazy kings, isn't there?
Yeah, you become crazy from it probably.
From the power.
But yeah. But the only way for a king why would a king want to live a good life?
Mm.
Because he becomes happy. He goes to heaven. He will have much more satisfying life and be much greater and have much more. He has the same moral boundaries as everybody else. And they are not set by the king, they're set about something that is even higher than the king. But I also heard this a few days ago, that you have no there's no free will without God.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that before?
No, I thought just God gave us free will so we could choose good or evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
But think about, we remove God,
Mm.
then you get a choice. Okay, I get a choice now to throw this as my brother or not. I'm not gonna do it, but
I'll beat you to do it.
where did that choice come from? There's the general thought is that there's two categories. Either there's nothing beyond my physical body and this physical world. So this happened because of this happened before, or this happened because of the sequence of events that happened before.
That was determinism.
Determinism.
That made you do it.
You have all the sequence events that happened before.
That made you do it.
And if everything is within this world and it's not timeless,
Yeah.
everything is within this time and
Yeah.
within this world,
In the laws of physics.
in the laws of physics, then you cannot make an argument that you can choose to throw this or not. This has already been chosen by the sequence of events that happened before this moment. And there's no other way to explain it. Only way to explain that I have free will is that there is something that is beyond time, beyond the physical world, and beyond, I can't remember what the third one is. And he gives you the choice to throw this or not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that you cannot make the case.
It makes really good sense. And I'll add to that, Carl Jung, the psychologist that laid foundation for all human mind understanding, and we still use him in psychology. He said that there's parts of our psyche that are not constricted by the laws of physics, meaning, for example, time and so on, by dream seeing into the future. So, but explain me the thing you also said about God. You said something with when you die, it doesn't make sense because if you do good your whole life, there'll be nothing. The equation doesn't go up. Nicholas.
Yeah, if we say the world is fair,
Mm.
and if you do good, most people will accept if you do good, you get good things, and
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
do bad, you get bad things.
Yeah, what you reap, you sow in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Explain that.
And then what if you have a child? Child grows up, the child is innocent, the child is driven over. The only way for that child to get what he deserves, if he's only done good, is that there must be some continuous event. Because if some people only do good and they get killed, boom. Then the guy
equation-
hasn't got the equation doesn't go up because
Yes.
karma cannot exist if there
There's
isn't
no
a life
afterlife.
after death,
Yeah.
because otherwise the equation wouldn't go up.
Hvad hedder en ligning på engelsk?
Equation.
Is it called an equation?
Yeah.
So yeah, like in every equation, I know I'm stupid in maths, but I know like it has two sides, so you got to balance it out. So if it's like, if one side this life is one way, then the other way will be another. But yeah, that is true. There's many absurd things. But yeah, how are you doing with your fucking business thing? Going good, the firm?
Well, I've learned more and more. I've started a company called Dialogue Intelligence, and we make chatbots based on artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And I've learned more and more that the devil is in the details. Like, you think you're finished. 4 weeks ago, we thought, okay, we finished this job. The amount of problems that just pop up again and again and again is fucking crazy.
But you're starting to be a doctor and you're running a firm at the same time.
But people also, I got something for my mother here because she's also very effective. I have free time all the time.
Yeah.
I work maybe 6 hours a day,
Yeah.
7 hours max on the days I work a lot. Like it's not more than that. It like
but
most
you're
of my
very-
friends, they are studying medicine and they are like stressed and they're only studying medicine.
Yeah.
Like I'm working maybe 5 hours a day doing my business,
Yeah.
going to meetings and doing
Yeah.
doing a podcast and But I feel that time is fine. I would like to have things to do.
Yeah, but I think you're very, you're hardworking, but you're not perfectionist. In some sense, you're able to discern what is valuable and what is not, and therefore you put all your work into the only most valuable things, which is very impressive.
That's the key. Like, the key is to just do what is necessary and never more than what is necessary.
Yeah.
Because the amount of things people do extra, I see it all the time, is like crazy. It's also like, whatever, but what do they say? The sunset is a never-ending horizon.
I love Tribe so much. Every time I sit in my room and I fantasize about two things when I surf on live. And I'm alone in my room in the night in Copenhagen or something. I fantasize either about being in a tribe where everybody's sitting around the fire and you're never, alone or anything. Or I fantasize about having a family. Waking up to your kid pulling your hair. And that is why my rationalization for doing some magic was that if I do, magic, I'm doing it for a good end purpose of creating a family in a country that isn't bad, By the way, I'll be traveling all of Africa, and my crazy mind, something happens in my life, has always been difficult in many ways, or also easy sometimes. But my life has always been stressful, I would say. And that's because adventure has always been there. I attract adventure. So I'll be traveling all of Africa. I'll be going in like a month, maybe 3 weeks. And on my YouTube channel called Crooked Christopher, I'll be filming and posting videos of absolutely everything I do. And everything will be very honest and transparent. And you'll see the slums. You'll get to meet the prostitutes. You'll get to meet the normal people and everyday people of, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Congo even, Let's go in and find the child rebels. And if I die in adventure, that's a fine way to die. But that's why I'm considering, I'm not going to talk about that.
Go follow him.
You can follow me on TikTok also, but I'll probably be banned soon because I'm speaking the truth, which will elevate you from the black and white squares up to seeing the full spectrum of color. High consciousness, I'm elevating you in Chris transcends Diogenes, which is an ancient philosopher. You can follow me on TikTok, but that account will be banned very soon. But if you follow me there, I'll probably post soon that I'll be having a new account. But it takes time to get 1,000 followers, so I can't go live. I should start going live. I'm gonna go live there.
Yeah, it's crazy. You put up a video of Jesus. You have videos of Jesus sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
And then a video of
just picked screenshots of articles of how transgenderism hurts people that change genders and how it makes their life worse.
Like even everybody says,
and people that regret getting their breast cut off so they can never breastfeed their child.
Yeah, say what you want about transgenderism, but it's accepted that there is at least some percentage of people who regret that decision and thought it was the right way to do and was
only not. One perspective is supported. Yeah. That's what they do. And also I said pornography, I talked about how bad pornography was for children. That video got banned because I said pornography will make you homosexual, and I referred to a study made in X Hamster, if you want to hear. So X Hamster made a study, and the study is if you watch porn over 5 years, there's a 70% increase that you will watch bisexual porn. Bisexual means that one man is getting another man, up inside another man's rectum. And I don't think you need to be religious to know that a man up inside a man is not the right thing.
I must say that when I think about it, my stomach says I'm doing something wrong. Like I think about men having sex with another man. It's the same feeling I get than when I think about taking the child's feet, lifting it up, and then the face down into the ground.
Yeah,
like that's like compulsive thoughts, but when it pops up, it's the same negative feeling you get.
They call it love is love, But it's not love. The statistics say that homosexual men, they don't have long-lasting relationships. What is a short-lasting relationship? Well, that is come over, babe, let's have sex, and then F off.
That's the fact. This is in the statistics. And it even says, I think priests and pastors in Africa I've listened to. Pastor Semper is a wonderful pastor. He's the one that said, "Why are you gay, huh? Why are you gay? Then who is gay?" That one, that interview, incredible. But that guy, he studied, he's really smart, actually. He's not stupid at all. Hvad så?
Not so much, but I think we made a good podcast today.
Yeah.
And
You want to end it?
Yeah.
Mary just sent me a picture. She looks cute.
Thank you, Christopher. He's actually my big brother. But I think he has a lot of interesting thoughts. But peace out, all niggers out there. I cannot say that.